today we're going to be talking about what is your worst experience and your best experience baking. I'm sure today's one. I'm expecting the comments to be full with gist. Please send in your gist. Let us laugh. Let us merry. And if you are shy, you can just send it to my email, which is here, so that I can read it for you. read it maybe in the next post. So the first person to send it, I would make sure to read it out, or five people, no, the first five people to comment. I'm going to read it out in the next day of the challenge, so stay tuned and make sure you do that. So today we're going to talk about my best cake experience and my worst cake experience. Remember, I'm on a journey to 1,000 followers, so please, if you are not sharing this, you are breaking my heart. Please help a sister. I wrote it on my goal book that by the end of this year, I'm ending this year with 1,000 plus followers. Please, let's make magic happen. Okay, so back to it. So my best cake experience. Let me start with the good one. Oh yeah, let me start with the good one. So I'll be so jaded. So the good one is I made a cake for a friend. I made a tire cake. I'm sure you'd have seen the cake on my TikTok. I really, really love this cake. See, it took hours, but it was worth it. Like I was so happy making that cake. By the time I was done, I did not sleep. Oh. I was just going and be looking at the cake. Any moment I was just want to look at the cake. I was like, wow. So this is the works of my hand. Now I'm shouting, this is the works of my hand for me. But that's one of the best cakes I've made so far. I've made like amazing cakes, very nice cake, rosette cake, tiered cakes. I've made a lot, even surprise cake, morning cake. I've done a lot of cakes, but this one was the banger. And super I'm not really a fondant fan, so for me to nail a fondant cake like this, I was impressed. Then my worst experience, guys. So I got another for my aunt to make a cake for someone, and she was taking the cake over that green. See today, I know I'm never going to try it again. I think the thing about oil-based chocolate cake, never ever ice it alone. Like do like a 3 or 4 tier of that cake and ice it and send it and think it to go. Hey, anytime somebody, I think after that day, anytime someone asks me to bake chocolate cake, my heart is always in my hand. I'm like, hey, God, I beg go. I think I didn't even bake for a week because I was thinking, I said, God, what have I done? So that's how she ordered for the cake. I got the cake. She ordered for the cake and I got it ready, it baked on time, covered it up. I rested well, covered it, then so as to the delivery, the cake started melting. Hi! I don't know if you guys know, but that feeling of when the cake is melting, my heart started breaking. I said, what are we going to do? Hey! I said, what are we going to do? I was so afraid. I scraped it, bought new icing, covered it, changed the whole style. I was shaking literally when I was changing it. Changed it, and though I'd already even sent her the picture of the initial cake, I was just waiting for the time to pick up. That's how Anna decorated it again. I was like, I was praying, no Shabbat. That's why I posted that in that Oshimiria that I'm praying as I'm going to do like, I did this cake. Be in good shape. Let's be in good shape. And I know most of you will be like, oh, maybe it's the icing you mix, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, I've been using that same recipe since. I don't know why, but I know that maybe the day was too hot or the environment was too hot or too, I don't even know. I was in my hostel at that time, so I was not at home. There was even light, so breeze was blowing it. But I noticed like it was oily, like the cake was oil, like it was so soft and moist, so it was like sliding. So the icing was, I say, hey. Anyway, I now got to deliver the other cake. I was just praying that the cake arrives well. That's how I dropped the cake. I went back to my hostel. 1 hour after, my auntie called me, say, what is going on? She sent me pictures. I said, hey, Jesus. I said, I fucked up. Even me, I know I fucked up. I said, Jesus. I said, Lord. I said, it pained me. I cried. No, I'm a very crybaby, but I cried. I said, what am I going to do? Lord of mercy. I cried. After crying, I cleaned my face. I apologized. She was even like she had already gotten into like Agbara, so there's no way for her to even turn back for me to quickly recover it. And it was so late. Other bakers had already closed. Even she could have just entered the cake store. The cake was good. It's just to rearrange the whole cake and everything. I said, since then, if you want, I think the best thing for those kind of cake is fondant, like a wrap fondant method. I'll just use fondant and cover it. I know that even if you can't drip finish on a fondant cake now, and fondant will absorb it and to be strong. Ah, guys, that day was crazy. So I think today we're ending on the low note, but all the best. Since then, I've been doing better. Though I feel that cake fails are inevitable. Sometimes it can be ingredients, it can be temperature. There's a lot of things that causes it. So if you have ever had a cake fail, you can tell me in the comments section what happened, how the cake failed. You can even send us a picture, let all of us laugh, because now I'm just laughing at that time because I know it won't happen again, especially with my butter icing cakes. It won't happen. So if you found today's episode enjoyable, you had a lot of fun, you enjoyed it, make sure to like, to comment, and to share and follow. Yeah, follow, please. Don't forget to follow. And please, any of your friends that like it, please tell them to follow. Thank you so much. So we can all grow together. So have a wonderful day, guys. See you on the next episode or the next day.